Hi there, LEGO fans and library lovers. It's me, Blair Archer, here in the Brix studio to bring you another exciting edition of LEGO at Home. Let's take a look inside the LEGO Ideas Head and see what we're going to be building today. It's quite small. I think it's microscale. Awesome. Microscale is so much fun. It's basically taking any Lego piece and imagining it as so much larger than life. So let's hop on over here to the Lego desk and I'll show you some tips and tricks you can use to build awesome miniature models in your own home. Welcome to our microscale world. Today we're going to learn about building very small things out of Lego. The most important thing when you're building small with Lego is thinking of each individual element as so much larger than you usually do. For example, when you're looking at a small piece of foliage or plant in comparison to a minifigure, typically they're about life size or even might be comically large. However, when you're thinking about things in microscale, you have to think about a person being much smaller than minifigure scale. Typically, microscale comes in a few different varieties of scales. Some where the people are too small to see, some where the people might look more like one of these trophy figs in scale, and some where the people would be in a place between that size and minifigure scale. For example, when Lego designs a small car, where clearly no one's going to sit inside it, but it's a little bit bigger than you would expect for somebody this tiny. When we're looking at a scene like this, a landscape, there are a lot of different ways that you can use different Lego elements to represent all kinds of larger than life objects. For example, looking at these buildings in the background, they're really only two pieces, a headlight brick and a cheese slope. But when you put them in the scene, into this context of the surroundings, they start to look like a cluster of buildings. And here we've used some grilled tile to create rows of agriculture, basic tiles, and 1x1 plates, alternating using some translucent and transparent pieces to implicate water, and a small waterfall scene here. And one of the funnest things to do when working in microscale is to build different kinds of trees. When we're building a microscale pine tree like this, a very popular thing to be building, especially for our Pacific Northwest landscape, you start by finding some sort of a bar piece. It can be an antenna like this one. It can be a piece of flex tube like this. Or it can be a 3 or 4 long bar like this. Often issued as walking sticks and canes. You simply take your bar, if you have one without a base, and place it into a cylinder or a cone, and then do the opposite on the other side. Then we're going to use this piece, which usually you might find having flowers placed upon it, and stack a few of them together and then put them on top in order to create our pine tree. Now you can put that pine tree into your build. If you're using an antenna like this, you can also switch to the cylinder, or if you have some handy, the 1x1 round plate with open hole can also get the same result. They come in a variety of colors. I don't happen to have a brown one right now. But you can make your trees any color you want. For example, here's the difference between a green-leaved deciduous tree and one that is turning colors for fall. These trees are built fairly similar, using a cylinder, a couple of 1x1 plates turned diagonally to give a little more texture, and then a sequence of 2x2 round plates and 1x1 round plates to make the upper leaves. Alright, let's take a look at a different environment and some more awesomely small things we can make out of Lego. I've created this desert area with this broadcasting station here, using some of our familiar pieces to create the illusion of windows and doors. We're using some headlight bricks down here, the back and the front, and then some clear bricks, and just some simple taps, robot arms, bars, and clip connections here to create our tower. But what's going to go in this environment is especially exciting. I've created a couple of new microscale vehicles, including this construction vehicle and this car. It's pretty futuristic, very fast looking. We're actually going to take a look at how to build one of these right now. Let's sit in our scene here. Yeah. What you're going to need are two of these. They're a 1x1 plate modified with a bar holder, except instead of a clip, it's a tube that goes all the way around. We'll take two of those and combine them with a special slope. The special slope looks like this. It's a 1x2 brick with a slope on the front and a 1x1 plate area on the back. We take that and we put it on top of our two bar holders. We pick a color cheese slope for a windscreen. Can be blue, can be smoke gray. We'll go with the blue one on this. Pop that on there. And then we need 4 1x1 round plates, or we can use for the 1x1 round plates with open stud as well. So we'll get a few of those here. And then we take them and we put them on each one of these spots here, because what's cool about these bar holders is not only can you slide a bar through like this and into the hole, but you can also build right on top of this piece because they made it same size as a stud. Ah. And there you have it. Small, simple, very futuristic looking vehicle. We'll park that one in front there. And I used some similar techniques to build this. Let's flip it over and take a look. On the inside, I used the same shape here, but placed in the middle of this 2x4 plate and hanging down in order to create these spots where I could place a plate facing sideways so that I can make a vehicle that was still small and thin but had treads or wheels facing outward. Up here, again, we're using headlight bricks to create some windscreens, but this time we're going to have them face the other direction. And then on the back I put one of these plates or tiles with a Technic pin on top into this inverted slope here. Cheese wedge, pixel joint, toe ball, and a tile. It's so simple, but so effective. It instantly reads as some sort of construction equipment, and we can put it into our scene and have it look like it's going to tow this vehicle away, maybe. As you can see, it's so easy to come up with designs that fit into this size and then create a simple environment for them to live in, and it makes a full scene. We used some different tiles here to create what looks like a road. So we used some dark gray tiles, and then we used the light gray tiles to imply and to show the sidewalks. You can get some of these corner ones too. You can combine different sizes and shapes in order to create the layout that you want for your city. And you can have all different kinds of microscale vehicles coming into your scene in different ways. We can add one of those spaceships that we made in one of our other programs. Or you can envision things that at once were a different scale, but now introduced to your scene look like giants. So we could have this guy come onto the scene and look like he's about to come through and squish our whole little city. It's one of the most exciting things about microscale is that you don't need a lot of pieces to create your scene or your vehicle, so you can start getting to the storytelling and showing what you wanted overall in a very compact way. It's almost like poetry with Lego, in that we're not using very many pieces, but we're still telling a large story. Specifically, it's like a haiku, in that you can give a sense of emotion or a complete story even though we've used so very few pieces, just like a haiku uses very few words. It's all about how you arrange them that makes them stand out between a small pile of Lego parts and something recognizable like a vehicle or a building or a tree. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me here in the Brix Studio today to build some amazing microscale creations. Hopefully what you've learned today inspires you to go on and build some awesome tiny Lego masterpieces of your own. If you'd like to share them with me, remember you can always send me some pictures through our Facebook or our Instagram at Brix Edu. And until next time, keep making amazing things and play well. Thanks again. I'll see you soon. Bye.